It was a typical Friday morning at the Fulton County Courthouse. The sound of footsteps and murmurs filled the halls, a daily rhythm of justice in action. Suddenly, the tranquility was shattered. Brian Nichols, a defendant with a promising football career and a charismatic smile, transformed into a force of destruction. With calculated precision, he launched a deadly assault, leaving behind a trail of chaos and despair. Gunfire echoed through the corridors, sending shockwaves through the courthouse and beyond. Questions lingered. What drove this man to such extreme violence? Was it revenge, desperation, or something even darker? This is the chilling tale of Brian Nichols, a story of a day that shook Atlanta to its core. Join us as we unravel the events and delve into the mind of a man whose choices forever changed countless lives. The beginning, a bright future dimmed. Brian Nichols' story begins on February 10, 1971, in Austin, Texas. Born to Sandra and Jean Nichols, Brian completed a family of 5 with 2 older sisters. From the outside, they appeared to live a picture-perfect suburban life. As a child, Brian was energetic, charming, and adventurous. He loved playing sports, exploring the outdoors, and making his family laugh with his quick wit. However, cracks in the family's foundation appeared when his parents' marriage began to falter. By the time Brian was 10, the family was torn apart by divorce, leaving him to navigate a world of fractured relationships and emotional upheaval. Despite the turmoil, Brian excelled in athletics. Football became his passion and an outlet for his energy, earning him recognition as a talented player during his high school years. He graduated with dreams of a promising future and secured a spot at Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. On the surface, his life seemed on track, but a darker side began to emerge. Arrests for violent outbursts and other misdemeanors hinted at the storm brewing beneath his composed exterior. The once bright path ahead dimmed as his personal struggles deepened, setting the stage for the chaos to come. The turning point: descent into chaos. After leaving college, Brian Nichols managed to find stability working as a computer engineer in Georgia. Earning a 6-figure salary, he appeared to have turned his life around. But beneath the surface, old demons lingered. In 2004, his dark side emerged in a horrifying assault on his ex-girlfriend. Breaking into her home, he restrained her with duct tape and assaulted her at gunpoint. The charges were severe: sexual assault, aggravated assault, and more. Facing a likely conviction and life in prison, Nichols' desperation reached a fever pitch. As his trial date approached, Nichols grew increasingly erratic. Friends warned authorities of his violent tendencies, and even his mother expressed concerns about his behavior. Yet, the warnings went unheeded. Nichols' frustration and fear transformed into a deadly determination. On the morning of March 11, 2005, his inner turmoil erupted into violence. This day marked a chilling turning point as Nichols embarked on a rampage that would leave an indelible scar on Atlanta's history. The Courtroom Massacre, 508. The chaos began in the early hours of March 11, 2005, when Deputy Cynthia Hall escorted Brian Nichols to a holding cell. In a critical lapse, Hall failed to ensure that Nichols was wearing leg shackles. Nichols seized the opportunity, launching a brutal assault on Hall. He overpowered her, stole her firearm, and locked her in a cell. Armed and enraged, he stormed into Judge Roland Barnes' chambers, demanding information about his trial. His rampage escalated as he entered the courtroom, where Judge Barnes was presiding over a civil case. Without hesitation, Nichols shot the judge in the head, killing him instantly. He turned his gun on court reporter Julie Brando, taking her life as well. The scene descended into chaos as Nichols fled the courthouse. In his escape, he shot and killed Sergeant Hoyt Teasley, carjacked multiple vehicles, and left a city in panic. Nichols' violent spree was a harrowing display of calculated brutality, shocking the nation and leaving a community reeling from the devastation. The hostage situation, Ashley Smith's heroism. In the early hours following his violent rampage, Brian Nichols stumbled upon Ashley Smith, a young widow living in Duluth, Georgia. She became an unlikely hero in this harrowing tale. After forcing his way into her apartment, Nichols held Smith hostage at gunpoint for over 7 hours. What transpired during those tense hours revealed remarkable courage and resilience. Rather than succumbing to panic, Smith remained calm, relying on her faith and quick thinking to de-escalate the situation. In an attempt to connect with Nichols, she offered him amphetamines she had for personal use, a move that surprisingly helped build trust. She then turned to an unexpected source of solace and inspiration, Rick Warren's book, The Purpose-Driven Life. Reading aloud from its pages, she spoke of forgiveness, redemption, and the possibility of change, striking a chord with her captor. Throughout their conversation, Smith shared her personal story, including the tragic loss of her husband and her struggles to rebuild her life. This vulnerability seemed to humanize her in Nichols' eyes. She even cooked him pancakes for breakfast, further defusing the tension. Eventually, Nichols allowed her to leave to visit her daughter. Instead, she contacted the authorities, leading to Nichols' arrest. Smith's bravery and compassion turned a moment of terror into a testament of hope and humanity. The capture, an end to the rampage. The manhunt for Brian Nichols ended with a blend of bravery and precise law enforcement efforts. After Ashley Smith managed to contact authorities, they moved swiftly to her Duluth, Georgia, apartment complex. Law enforcement units swarmed the area, coordinating with tactical precision. Despite the high stakes, the standoff concluded without further bloodshed. Nichols, perhaps emotionally and physically drained from his previous actions and the long hours of holding Smith hostage, surrendered peacefully to authorities. The scene was tense but measured. Officers apprehended Nichols, securing the stolen firearms and other evidence he had accumulated during his spree. The capture brought an end to 26 hours of terror that had paralyzed Atlanta and gripped the nation. The relief was palpable among law enforcement, the media, and the public. Ashley Smith's calm and calculated actions were instrumental in ending Nichols' rampage. Her bravery not only saved her life but likely spared others from additional harm. Nichols' capture highlighted the importance of community vigilance, effective police coordination, and the unyielding courage of a single individual. For many, the conclusion of the manhunt marked a moment of closure, yet the legal and emotional fallout was just beginning. The trial, a nation watches. Brian Nichols' trial was one of the most high-profile legal proceedings in recent history, captivating a nation with its intense drama and complex questions. Charged with 54 counts, including murder, kidnapping, and armed robbery, Nichols faced the full weight of justice. The prosecution sought the death penalty, while the defense argued for leniency, citing mental instability and a history of psychological trauma. The trial was marked by graphic evidence and harrowing testimonies from survivors, family members of victims, and law enforcement officials. The prosecution presented a chilling narrative of premeditation, using forensic evidence and witness accounts to paint Nichols as a calculated and remorseless killer. The defense, however, sought to portray him as a deeply troubled man, unraveling under immense psychological pressure. Television cameras outside the courtroom captured the public's fascination and outrage. Legal experts debated the implications of the case on courthouse security, the death penalty, and mental health awareness. After weeks of emotional testimony and grueling deliberations, the jury found Nichols guilty on all counts. A single juror's objection to capital punishments spared him the death penalty, leading to multiple life sentences without parole. The trial brought justice for the victims but left lingering questions about the systemic failures that allowed the tragedy to occur. The aftermath, lessons learned. The aftermath of Brian Nichols' rampage left a profound impact on Atlanta and the nation. Beyond the immediate grief for the lives lost, the incident triggered widespread introspection about security, mental health, and the criminal justice system. Courthouse security protocols underwent significant overhauls, with tighter restrictions on detainee movements, enhanced surveillance, and mandatory leg restraints for high-risk inmates. The victims' families sought to find meaning amidst their sorrow. Civil lawsuits against Fulton County resulted in substantial settlements, providing some financial relief but little solace for the emotional scars. Judge Roland Barnes' widow and Julie and Brando's daughter each received multi-million-dollar payouts, a stark reminder of the human cost of institutional lapses. Ashley Smith emerged as an unlikely hero, gaining national recognition for her role in Nichols' capture. Her story of faith, resilience, and quick thinking inspired millions. She authored a memoir, Unlikely Angel, which was later adapted into a feature film, cementing her legacy as a beacon of hope. The case also reignited debates about the death penalty, mental health treatment for offenders, and systemic reforms to prevent such tragedies. Nichols' violent spree became a cautionary tale, underscoring the critical need for vigilance, accountability, and compassion in navigating the complex intersections of justice and humanity. The story of Brian Nichols stands as a sobering testament to the fragility of human life and the thin line between order and chaos. It is a narrative marked by tragedy, resilience, and ultimately, accountability. For the city of Atlanta, March 2005 will forever be remembered as a time of fear and loss, but also of bravery and hope. The victims, Judge Roland Barnes, court reporter Julie and Brando, Sergeant Hoyt Teasley, and Special Agent David Wilhelm, are remembered not just as casualties of violence but as symbols of the sacrifices made in the pursuit of justice. Their lives underscore the profound consequences of one man's actions, rippling far beyond the walls of the Fulton County Courthouse. Ashley Smith's role in ending Nichols' rampage remains a shining example of the power of empathy and faith. Her courage under duress provided a glimmer of humanity in the face of brutality. As Nichols serves his life sentences, the world continues to reflect on the lessons learned from his actions. The tale is not just one of tragedy but also a call to action, a reminder of the critical need for systemic reforms, better mental health care, and the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories that delve deep into the events that shape our world. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.